Hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Octoin's ICO and their tokens and their exchange a little. And to start with, one of the things I was confused by when I first was using this platform was the bar that you can see in the middle of the screen with the blue on the left and the green on the right. And you can see four different figures. There's the OCC at the top of the blue bar and the top of the green bar, and then also down below there's a sold during hold period and a redeemed during hold period. And it wasn't clear to me on first glance whether the left of the bar was the amount that was remaining to be sold, or whether it was the right of the bar, and whether it would all be sold when it got to the right or when it got to the left. So little things like that were a little ambiguous. So I did a little bit of maths to figure out what was actually going on. So what I've determined is that the blue on the left is the number of their tokens, their OCC tokens that have been sold. The green on the right is the number that are remaining for sale. So you can see there's a total of 50 million. And once those are all sold, their plan is to then launch the currency on the exchanges and that kind of thing. I don't know if it'll only be... you can actually already sell and buy their currency on the exchange, their internal exchange, as you can see here. Like, this person's selling 1 OCC for, what is it, 0.001592 ETH, that kind of thing. So you can already trade it with other people here internally, get the value in one of the other tokens or in USD and then withdraw it. So in that sense it's already exchangeable, but because you can, and I've got, actually let me come back to that point because I'm getting a little out of the order I planned. Just bracket in your mind that you can buy and sell on their external exchange, and I'll return to that point, because the other thing I wanted to talk about regarding the bar up here is that you can also see a sold during the whole period and a redeemed during the whole period. So the meaning of those is kind of obvious. It means that since their ICO started, I'm not sure when it actually was, I've been in the platform 2 to 3 weeks now, there's 64 million of their tokens have been sold, but 41 million have been sold back, which nets up to the 23 million that we have on the left that are currently sold in total. So this bar on the left can actually go up and down because of that. So what that's about, and this is where we connect back to what I was talking about with the exchanges, is that beyond buying the token on this external exchange from other people, you can buy and sell the token with Octoin themselves. So for example, right now, if you want to buy the token, you'll click on this. So this is in the P2P exchange section on the left. You'll click on the buy button at the right of the bar, and you'll see, sorry, my picture is in the way, just moving it. You'll see that you can buy OCC for 1.01 USD if it's below 30,000. If you get into the quite higher figures, then then it goes down marginally. At least personally, I'm not in the ballpark of buying these figures, and I'd imagine the average person looking at this stuff may not be. So it's fair to say that for most people, they'll be getting it at 1.01. You can also buy it in other currencies, Bitcoin, ETH, whatever. So it's pretty impressive actually, the amount of different things this platform supports. Like, I'm normally quite skeptical of lending platforms, but this is one of the very few that I've looked at and take seriously, and I'm willing to actually do lending in for some period of time, instead of my strategy with other lending platforms, which is buy during the ICO, wait for them to go to exchanges and sell at a 3 to 5 times gain. But anyways, back on topic. So you can buy from them for about 1.01 USD per token. And the cool thing is that you can also sell OCC back for 0.98 USD. So you're getting about, what would that be? Maybe 97 point something percent of the value back if you sell it. Now I know that will continue to exist as long as they've got tokens to sell. I don't know what happens when they hit the max and they've sold everything. I would wager that they will stop having this sell feature where you can sell back to them, or they might do something that's similar to a BitConnect where the value they pay you will be based on the going rate on the exchanges, because at that point I believe they will have launched 2 external exchanges as well. So things will change at that point, but it's cool because at least as long as this ICO keeps running, and as long as the platform stays up, which I see no reason for this platform in particular to not stay up for an extended period of time actually. As long as that's the case, the OCC you buy has a pretty stable value. So if you lend some or whatever, you get the profits, you can sell it back even just to Octoin themselves, guaranteeing that you've made the money. So there's a lot of safety to the situation right now. Now, in terms of how long that will last, in the 2 to 3 weeks I've been in it, I think it started at about 18 million sold. So in 2 to 3 weeks, about 5 million has gone out. So if you were to do some maths on that, it's about, let's average it, say it's 5 million every 2 weeks. There's 26 million to go. So that means, maybe about 10 weeks before their ICO is wrapped up, which would fit roughly with their timeline. Well, not quite. That would put us in March, whereas they've said they're aiming to be on the external exchanges by May. So there's a fair chance the token will be sold out by that point, and I don't know whether the sell feature will be gone at that point. Presumably the buy feature will. One way they could do it is that even when it maxes out, they could let people keep selling it back to them and just release what has been sold for buying. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but they haven't given specific information on what happens under that circumstance. Anyway, just looking at my notes quickly, seeing if there's anything else I want to talk about other than just that basic explanation of how this stuff works. Yeah, it's varied really. So yeah, I quite like this platform, and I'm going to make a couple of more videos about it today. And I'm saying that as someone who's highly skeptical of various ICOs, highly skeptical of lending platforms, because I recognize that 95% of them are low quality, can't necessarily be trusted, they feed false information, and they're highly risky. Now, of course, this has risk too. Any of these things does, but this is by far, of all the new lending platforms I've seen beyond BitConnect, this is the one that's impressed me the most in terms of the degree of functionality it has, the completeness of the site, and just the stability of the site. Like it's a pretty cool platform, and you can tell that the people who put it together actually have some clue about what they're doing. It's not just hacked together from a template in the hopes of getting people's cash. And yeah, anyways, I'll talk a bit more about what I think of Octoin and why I have been willing to buy into myself in the next couple of videos. So yeah, peace out. And bear with me while I figure out how to end my recording. Okay, bye for real.